reading road. So it's time to do my March TBR, but for reasons I'm also doing my April TBR now, so I can pick some larger books to put on it, so without being afraid of not finishing them on time and having to do a punishment. As it stands now with my February TBR, I need to finish at least one of them to avoid a punishment, which I have a few days left, so I'm quite confident at that I'll manage, since I got 3 books left. And I've already moved them over to my extra reading list, so I can plan my March, April TBR on my board. And I'm going to start with the books I have planned to read for reasons. Buzzword.on and TBR Knockout. I have already chosen book for that I'm going to try to fit into my roles. So I'm going to write those up first. Supernova, which is actually the 3rd book in the Renegade series, and I already have the 2nd book on my over list, so I have to finish that one first. So I'm probably going to move that one over as well. And then the other one was the Poppy War for TBR Knockout in March. I only wrote Poppy War, but also that works. The other 2 is The Landing Library and We Hunt the Flame. So put those 2 here. Landing Library and We Hunt the Flame. And I know that the Landing Library is an ebook, and it also works for my digital TBR prompt, so 2 in 1. Then we have Buzzword.on for those. And I'm going for the shortest option I have, so I have more freedom later. That works best for me. Then I at least have the small ones out of the way. And then for April, it's The Fox and Little Tanuki. And for March, we have a duel at Broken Furniture Inn. And the buzzword for that one is locations, and since it's an inn with the name Broken Furniture Inn, I'm going to count it. So if you haven't seen any of my videos before, the game is that I roll my dice, then move along the border, and every time I hit lands on one of these arrows, I get to jump into the circle, and I continue with that until I get to the middle. So we'll see how many times that takes me. It can get really bad, which it did in January, or it can do very well. We'll have to see. So the first roll is a 2. So going here for 1, 2. This is a pole pick, and I made a bit of a rule for the poll pick, since I usually really bad at doing poll picks, that they also can be randomized. So I have a list of books that I randomized earlier that I'm going to pick from, and one of them I know for a fact is the 5th season, so that's on my TBR. So, next roll. 7. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is a fantasy. Let's see, which fantasy do I want to read? I'm going to pick The Ivory Key. This is also the team pick for the Trope-athon, readathon, Trope-call readathon. I stumbled with a name for it, but that's going on in March, and I'm planning to do as many of those prompts as possible, but I'm not going to assign any book to them. I'm only going to read the books and see which prompts fit the ones I read. And this is the team book, so I know it fits at least one. And this is a new release from January, and it's about this family that is trying to uncover a mystery and find the Ivory Key. That's as much about it that I remember, but I remember it really intriguing me. I believe it's India inspired. I'm not 100%, but I'm looking forward to it if that's the case, even more. We have Ivory Key. So, next one is 4. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4. That works perfectly. I'm going to try to get Malice by John Gwynne from the library, and hopefully no one else is trying to get it, so I can. That's the plan. If it doesn't work out, I update the book with something else. So I'm putting Malice in this, and all I know is it is that it's this epic fantasy, and it is the start of series. I have good things, and as usually I always go into them blind. I'm going to put the links for all these books in the description, because I prefer to go into the books blind most of the time, so I can't say much about them until I've actually read them. But, well, yes, going to continue with the next roll. 6. That's 6. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is a keyword, and the keyword for this one is magical. Not really hard to find a book for that one. Let's see if I can. I'm just going to put this one on it. It's A House of Earth and Blood. I've seen a lot of people read this one, and I haven't read any Sarah Maas. I read like the first chapter of A Court of Thorns and Roses, I believe, but in Swedish. So, but I'm going to try this one. This is my newest purchase, so I'd rather pick up it now when it's new before I lose interest completely. And I expect it won't be a hard read, so I'm not that intimidated by the length. So, but that one for magical, keyword magical. I'm just going to shorten the title. So, I have no idea what it's about, except it's a romance with a fallen angel. It's the romance, and they're trying to investigate something. That's about all I know. Next roll. 4. Let's see, where do I land? 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, I get into the middle. Any book. So I know exactly what to pick. The Authenticity Project. I wanted to read this in January and I didn't have the time, so I'm picking it now. This is a contemporary and it's about Yin Jesop that is tired of life, so he writes his truth into a book and leave it in a cafe, and the owner finds this book and then contacts him, and I guess it's a story about being honest with each other. That's what I gathered from it. I find it really intriguing and it seems something I really like in contemporary books. So I'm looking forward to this one really much. Whew. Happy I can put it on the TBR. Then we have 7 again. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm going one step in again. That was quick. Really quick. Okay. Sun is the key, and I'm probably just going to, well, I'm just going to rehunt the flame for this one, because flame is fire, sun is fire. I can stretch it however I want. So one less I need to pick, because I already have a lot of books on it, but new key were there. So next roll. 6 again. See, that ends me up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a friend pick. Let's see. I'll have my friend pick one of these and we'll see which one ends up on the TBR. So we'll see. I'm going to send her and then put a clip at the end of which one ended up being picked. Next roll. See if it was the last one. 5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means I end up in the middle. And for this one, usually I don't have to pick a book for the middle one, but I changed that this month because I got these cards and I assigned a book to each of these cards depending on which one I draw. So we'll see which of the books I'm going to read. And taking card is Great Power, Follow Conventions. This card is really pretty. They are eye shame card, and I don't know much about it except they're Chinese. I'm just using them for this right now because they're pretty. So let's see which book that is. Haha. 34 is the Sword of Shannara. So I'll be reading, well, this is a bind of the 3 first books, so I will at least read the first one in this, which, well, I'm looking excited for some traditional fantasy and see if I actually like Terry Brooks' writing. I hope I do, because I have this one. So that's on list. Whew. So that's the book I have this. So let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 books in 2 months. Sounds really manageable. So that's 7 books a month. I manage, well, the least I managed this year a month is 9. So sounds promising. We'll see how it goes. And I'm going to try to pick this up. Well. Need to pick them up so you see. So these are all the books I have, with the 2 on top being maybes. So one of them is going to be, it's going to dip. So, well, 2 months to read all of this. I'm probably going to manage it. I have 2 books that's not here. So, that's all. Two. Okay, this is quite ridiculous, but this is the book for this month. So, well, this and last month, next month. So, we'll see how it goes. I hope you have a good time. Bye.